Good afternoon to my colleague and friends from India, and good morning by my colleague from Germany. My topic is flexible power for integration of renewable generation. Our government, you know that already initiated for this 175 gigawatt solar and wind capacity to be implemented by 2022. Till date, that October data I have this October 2020. Yes, this is wrongly. It is given here 2019. It is 2020. Okay, it is the 89 gigawatt already we have installed. Out of this, solar is 36 gigawatt, wind 38 gigawatt, biomass and small hydro 15. But our target is 170 gigawatt. This is the normalized solar profile. I have seen this is the from Karnataka. There is the from morning 7 hours to 19 hours. This is the from 0 to almost 75%. And this is the normalized wind generation profile from various states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, AP, and Tamil Nadu. Again, we can see this variation is from 40% to about 90%. Actually, we have seen that total generation projection, we have prepared a roadmap considering 175 gigawatt by 2022. That is the this is the generation profile we have forecasted that this may be the highest generation from wind at the time of 1 p.m. That is the 37 gigawatt. And this variation is not much, but some variation is there. Minimum is 21 gigawatt to 37 gigawatt. And now on the solar generation, see, this is the solar generation from 0 to 70 gigawatt. It is also maximum at the time of 1 p.m. If we combine two, we can see that the curve is like this. Now the variation is from 22 gigawatt to 108. Now means this is within 8 hours. This is the within 6 hours from morning to this noon. Total variation is 85 gigawatt within 6 hours. So this is the 236 megawatt per minute ramp rate is there for solar. Again, from this 180 to evening, it is coming down to 28 gigawatt at the time of 9 p.m. in night. So this is the 8 hours, total 8 hours variation is 80 gigawatt. Here is the ramp down rate is 166 megawatt per minute. So this ramp up and ramp down has to be managed by our conventional generation. Conventional generation has to follow this opposite direction, ramp down to ramp rate here. Now we have the generation demand forecast on that particular date on 27 July. That is the highest variation and highest generation in RE. So we have taken that day this demand profile. Demand profile is like this. This is the peak demand is 190 gigawatt at the time of evening. Minimum is 171 here. So if we have to see that how can we manage this day generation and meet the demand and see our grid without compromising the grid security. See, this is the without taking any action as business as usual. That as on date, what we are doing, if we do same thing on that day, we are adding this nuclear generation Then this is the small hydro, then biomass. Then we have the hydro generation. Now this is the solar and wind. Now the gap has to be managed by our thermal generation. So thermal profile will be like this. Here is the during the highest generation, the peak generation, solar generation. That time our thermal generation should be 32 gigawatt. From morning 112 gigawatt to 30 gigawatt. This is the ramp down. This ramp down within 6 hours, 80 gigawatt ramp down is required. That's mean 222 megawatt per minute. That ramp down rate is required from thermal. Again, from 1 o'clock to evening, we have to generate 117 gigawatt to balance the grid. That's means 32 to 117 gigawatt. That difference is the 85 gigawatt. 85 gigawatt flexible power is required here, and ramp rate within 8 hours. So ramp rate per minute is 177 megawatt per minute. Again, if we see the this considering the some reserve capacity as per the grid code and CRC norms, if we take the some percentage, 8 to 10% reserve capacity, then it will be some higher portion. So this minimum thermal load is coming here about 26%. See, this is the 3 months, June, July, and August. Our minimum thermal load will be coming about 30%, 26%, and 30%. And this also, see, this maximum generation of from renewables, 105 gigawatt in June, in July 108 gigawatt, and 91 gigawatt in August. But see, June and August generation is less in August, but it is a 30% MTL is required in both this month. This MTL is also depend on the maximum demand in the grid, minimum thermal generation, and the units or capacity connected with grid. All these things depends on the minimum thermal load, besides the minimum thermal load and the units connected in the grid. Now we want to synchronize this one, this 108 gigawatt in the 27th July 2021, and the flexible power required in 84 gigawatt. So 25%, 25.7% minimum thermal load is Indian context. It is very difficult. I may say that it is not possible because the high ash content coal in India. So we have some coordinated efforts is required here. Therefore, hydro, as on date, hydro is like this. This blue color graph is saying that our generation is following this graph. We require more flexible power from this hydro sector. Generation is 26 gigawatt to 30 gigawatt. We may require some more generation in morning peak and evening peak, and less generation during solar generation. For this we require some regulatory intervention, because some of the especially in state sector hydro generation they are not willing to control during the daytime. For that, some regulatory intervention is required, because if they control the generation during the solar generation time, that is daytime, they have to purchase power from the grid, but their generation from hydro is very less. So their difference, who will pay? That has to be decided. So I think that flexible power from hydro or from thermal, that rates should be higher, or rates may be decided considering this factor, all these factors. Now, gas generation is only 6 gigawatt continuously they are generating. Here we have also proposed some variation. This blue curve is present generation, and this yellow curve is showing our proposal. The 3000 megawatt variation we have proposed here. Though there is a difficulty here, some grid connected gas plant is there, and they cannot control the generation, or control, very limited control is there. Now the pump storage system, we have proposed pump storage system and battery storage and two shift operation. Pump storage system here we can generate, we can as a motoring effect we can utilize the solar generation, means consume generation during daytime, and we can use this on during peaking, morning peak or evening peak. So we can during daytime we are consuming, means we are flattening the curve of this solar generation, and stress of the thermal power we are reducing by providing peaking support during evening and morning peak. This violet color is showing that two shift operation. We can have a small units, old units. We can utilize that units for peaking support during daytime, evening peak, 6 hours. We have also submitted an affidavit in this regard to the Supreme Court that if we utilize this one in 6 hours in a day, their PLF maybe, average PLF maybe a 20 to 25%. So the SOX norms, average SOX norms they can meet, because daily average peak, so they can meet. So we have given that in affidavit we can have a without FGD we can utilize this one. That proposal is also considering in MOF and in Supreme Court. Now, after considering all these steps discussed before, this is the new curve of this one. The yellow curve is showing the generation of solar and thermal. The stress of the thermal is reduced somehow. The 31 gigawatt is coming to here 51 gigawatt, and 117 is coming here 102. So here minimum thermal load is coming to about near about 45%. Ramping, I have already discussed that minimum this 293 and 288, that is the RAM down rate, and RAM up rate is required. So ramping issue is not so much in India. Now we have in our report also we have seen we have produced this curve as per the study in NTPC with Intertek conducted that study. We have seen that small units, 210 units are net heat rate deviation is smaller, and higher unit is higher. So we can utilize the for flexible operation gradually from small unit to higher units. Accordingly, we have categorized these units in 3 categories. First one is the smaller unit, that is a very flexible units, and then flexible unit, then the low flexible unit, that is the higher unit, 660 and 800 megawatt. This is the on the merit order and unit size that is considered. Low flexible unit 660 and 800. Total number of units is 98. Flexible unit is 500 to 600. Total 103 units. Very flexible, the 200 to 360 megawatt. Accordingly, we can further, we have proposed the units of higher ECR run at lower load. That is the suppose low flexible is running at 50% in minimum load and flexible 44 and very flexible 40% load. We have then average about 45% load. Further, we can also MTL can be vary from lower ECR to higher ECR. Low ECR have the higher percentage of minimum load. Accordingly, we can design this. Now, for this implementation, we require this regulatory intervention. One is the capex is required for ready to be ready in the, that is the unit to be flexible. Some implementation is required, and the OPEX increase in net heat rate as discussed. Also for this 40% to 100% this light consumption also reflected in increased O&M cost, because the stress will be there in the rotating part of the machine, so O&M cost will be increased. Accordingly, the flexible power rate from thermal to be decided. Now, the summary is that hydro power plant are basically suitable. So, study on state of art thermal power plant to find out the flexible power is available during peak demand, and some incentive or separate rate for hydro power should be there. Also, we have proposed a strategic location in the country to find out the so that pump storage or battery storage to be implement there, or recommend separate tariff or develop market for flexible hydropower and flexible operation coal power plant. Identification of flexible operation for thermal power is required, because all the measures to be implemented are plant specific. So before implementation any measures for flexible operation, we have to study the plant, and we have to find out the cost of flexible operation, that is the capex and opex, and recommend tariff or develop market for flexible thermal power. Also, an important part is the capacity building. That is it is the new regime that the operators have to give some. There is a operational changes, so training is required. Also, another thing is we have to see the demand side management, like domestic, agricultural, industrial, e-mobility sector. That management should be there, so that their demand should be in the during daytime. In this regard, we can reduce the stress on the thermal. Thank you.